What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2. And let me be honest about something. I never really cared about Adrienne Bailon and her husband Israel, like their story. I had heard things in the past, but I never really looked into it. My problem is that they putting God into this. Do not put God in your messed up situation. Let me go ahead and explain it to you guys. But first, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And we're going to get into this. It's very messy, y'all. So this story has been going around TikTok, but I haven't seen it really on YouTube, and I'm very shocked. So for those of you who don't know, Adrienne and Israel sat down with Angie Martinez, and she's talking about how she prayed for him when he had told her like he was going through a rough time and all the things. But in this interview, he doesn't go into detail what those things were, and I'm gonna break it down for you guys. So let's go ahead and listen to this clip, and then we'll get into what they're not saying.
Can you pray with me? And it wasn't weird, you know, and I needed that. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the craziest story since you loaded that up.
What?
I didn't pray for her the first time. The first time we ever prayed together, she prayed for me.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. I told her, this is what's going on in my life. It's bad. If once the world finds out, my life is over. My career's over. It's where I was at.
Because you're administrating.
Yes. And my livelihood was attached to whether people thought I was a Christian or not, you know, or a superhuman Christian, by the way, like a super Christian. And
so some of you guys might be thinking like, AT2, she prayed for him. What's so bad about that? Now, the horrible things that he was telling her was that he was cheating on his ex-wife. He was cheating on his ex-wife. These are the things that she prayed about. Like, oh, let me pray for him. Why did you not pray for his ex-wife? And mind you, it wasn't just cheating. He had additional or outside children with 2 different women. That's what he's not telling y'all during this interview. So him and his ex-wife have 4 children, and then he has 2 other baby mamas that each have a child each, right? But Adrienne prayed for this man. No, pray for those children and pray for the wife, because those are the people that are hurting.
I expected her, and what I shared with her was like embarrassing and painful and all that. And I expected her to go, see, all y'all, you know, I expected her to just go, all guys are the same.
To do that.
And she leaned across the table and she grabbed my hand and she just started praying for me. This is when we're still friends. And I mean, I sobbed at that little table. And she just basically said, God, please help this man know that he's not what he's done. And I think even that, like anybody listening right now or watching right now, we need to understand, like, again, if I changed anything, it would change everything. We are not what we've done. We are the sum total of what we inherited out of.
You know what's so crazy to me is that after he told her this, she still was all like, let me pray for him. Let me lay hands on him. And, you know, it's one thing to pray for somebody, but you didn't just pray. You PREY. Pray, as in you preyed on him like a predator. Because what would turn you on about a man telling you that he done had outside children and he been cheating on his wife? And mind you, it's multiple times. He just got 2 children, but it was multiple times he was sleeping with different women. He has a past, you guys. You can look into it. And mind you, everybody has been talking about him and Adrienne's timeline. Now, they met in 2013 on this movie called I'm in Love with a Church Girl, but he was just doing the music. She actually starred in the movie, right? And so I guess they were friends during that time. Earlier in this interview, Adrienne actually said that she would hook up Israel with her friends, and like I guess the friends they didn't work out or whatnot. And she said, yeah, even the friends that I hooked them up with, they were even at my wedding, ha 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 ha, and they thought it was funny. No, it's not funny. It's weird. But mind you, he had announced his divorce in February of 2016, right? But the thing was, him and Adrienne were already spotted together at some resort in Mexico. And so he had to come out and say, okay, I got divorced. But here's the thing about that. He was allegedly in a split between his wife. You know, they were separated. His ex-wife, they were quote unquote separated in 2015. But Adrienne had just canceled, well, not canceled, but you know, when you don't go through with the engagement. Yeah, she did that. She was engaged for about 7 months and she broke off. That's what I'm trying to say. Broke off her engagement. So I'm really like, okay, what is going on with this timeline? And then all of a sudden y'all just hooked up and now y'all happy and in bliss. Like, the timeline is not making any sense. And mind you were putting them out on dates. You weren't worried about, oh, maybe he needs to heal because he was in a 20-year marriage. You wasn't thinking like, oh, wait, he needs to heal. He needs time to himself. You were automatically thinking like, this is the man I want. This is who I'm going to be with. Because mind you, let me show you guys the clips where she said she stalked her husband. First, she was all like, oh yeah, I thought he was still married and he was playing me because the press had said this and that. And he gave her some bogus excuse and she believed it. And then in the second clip, you'll see where she said, oh yeah, I stalked him. So you were preying on him, literally.
Like, I pretty much would stalk him online. Like, I wanted to hear.
This is true. And y'all
every song he had ever made.
Wow.
I had to watch every preaching he had ever preached. And then, like, I'd find us in conversation later on and, like, be quoting things that he said. And he'd be like, how do you, I'd be, oh, no. Literally would find myself in these moments that were so tragically, like, are you stalking? Are you watching my preachings online?
Mind you, what's also interesting about that is that she was friends with his daughter. This was before they linked together, but she was friends with Israel's daughter. But what I'm thinking is, okay, they still follow each other on social media, but you can't tell me that they're okay with this relationship. You cannot tell me they're okay, especially when you were over here praying for her father while he was out there cheating and everything else. Like, did you pray for the wife? That's my question. But again, if these was just regular old people, I wouldn't care. But the fact that they be mixing God in this and talking about, oh, we sing together and the gospel and no. Don't put God in your mess. And this is the problem with these Christians. This is why y'all make people stray away from the church, because y'all messy like this.
The womb, what we've dealt with in the community that we grew up in, or the church trauma that some people have had to actually deal with. That's a real thing. And yet here we are both years into our life on the other side of that going, all of that wasn't working against us. All of that was serving to make us who we are now. And the evolution that I've seen in her life. And here's what's wild. When she talks about church, for her, it's this beautiful, like, foundational pillar.
It has always been that for me.
And for me, it has as well. And there was a lot of trauma, but that's because I was sort of in the family business of church.
Yeah, your dad was a pastor, and I think that changed it.
You know what the scary part is that these people are ministering to people and trying to heal them and help them, but yet we all sin, right? But hell, how many times you gonna sin? Like, that's pretty big, having outside children on your wife. And again, this turned Adrienne on. I just need to be a cheater. That's why I'm single. Good guys always lose. Good guys always come in last place. I need to start being bad. That's what it is. But hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what y'all think about all this. Am I overreacting? But I'm just saying, don't put God in it. All right. I love y'all. Be kind to one another. We out of here. Deuces, everybody.